Hey, everybody. We are live. It is January 25th, Wednesday night, and we have some time to do another stream. So, another traditional stream this week. I'm really kind of loving working in Procreate, so I want to keep this going. And then maybe next month, I'll figure out my Toon Boom license and we can start doing more in Toon Boom. But today, I want to practice moving the camera traditionally. So, in programs like Toon Boom or Flash, there's a camera that you can actually move around. But when you're drawing it like this, you got to do it by hand. So I feel if you can do it completely traditionally, you can really understand how things move, and it's good overall to know. So we have a scene here. We have this guy. He comes in, he jumps in the air, the camera pans up like an overhead shot, and then he smashes down on this girl and she gets out of the way. That's the first part of our fight scene. So we can play through it. Right? It's a little unclear. So I want to try and work through this today. It might be a short stream, but that's okay. Whoops. I'm going to be working really rough, really loose. This is kind of how I like to animate in Procreate. I don't like to clean things up too much. Worry about the details. I can do that later. I don't know where anyone's tuning in from, but it is snowing like crazy here. We're in Canada, like really close to Toronto, Canada. And it's just crazy outside. I just shoveled the driveway, got to go out and shovel it again probably soon. So the key, I think, to capture camera movements, especially in a scene like this, is I'm going to have to put like a horizon line so you can kind of see where the camera's moving. Okay, so that'll be this layer. We'll put it here. Nice. I wanted a little curved. There. Nice. There we go. And then I also want to have like some foreground elements, like this character, so I can kind of move these and we can get that effect of camera movement. And I'm so bad at this. Oh, look who it is. How's it going, Joseph? Yeah, how are you, man? Nice to see you again. I haven't been doing these streams in a while. Joseph used to tune in to every single one of my streams before the new year. So we'll have the fist like this. All right, I love Procreate because when you want to practice animation, you can kind of do it right away in like a really nice, chill environment, right? If I don't get this right, I don't really care. I can always just try again later. So we'll have her here. She'll have a sword like this. All right, so that's our first frame. And then here, I'm going to skip this for now and go right. Actually, no, that looks fine. So it's going to zoom in the camera. So what we want to do is I think we want the horizon line. It comes down to here, right? So everything is going to be moving forward. So I'm going to ease in not only the character's movement, but the whole camera as well. And that's kind of the hard part. So let's go here. Let's drop this down. our onion skin up so I can see my previous horizon line. And I'll just draw it. Whoops. Kind of like this. Want that curve. Ugh. There we go. So maybe move it up a little bit. I want it to barely move first. Then it zooms in. Okay. Now let's draw our character. So I can kind of, he's bending down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to animate it in place first, and then I'll move him. You started this animation. It would be really helpful. Okay. So here, I'll show you guys. Let me collapse all these groups. Do you use Procreate, Joseph? I'll show you. All right. So I started this animation with only these frames. We'll turn this off, turn this off, turn this off, turn that off, and here. So I only started with these 4 drawings, right? I had the character here, and then before I did it, I kind of had a picture in my head of what I wanted to do. So I wanted the character to zoom in real close, and then I wanted him to jump really high in the air. So I blocked in my keys, just like regular, like any other program. Here, here, and then here. But for this, I had to make sure that I was also drawing in the horizon line, paying attention to that, because I knew I was going to animate the camera movements traditionally. And now we're just kind of going in and adding some in-betweens and breakdowns to kind of flesh out this movement a little more and make it a little bit more clear. So for this, I want him to start crouching down. So I'll animate him in position first, and then I can move him in perspective. So we'll go like this. I'm still working really loose and rough. And I can clean up these characters basically anytime I want afterwards. And like animating in Procreate is actually pretty easy. I always use the default canvas size. I basically always use this syrup brush. And yeah, and it's just adding layers, grouping things to get more layers. So this is coming up. Right? I'm trying to ease out of this pose. So everything I'm drawing is kind of close to the red onion skin. I'm just thinking about, I want the arm to be moving back, but his body's going to be moving down. Right? And after this, after I block this in, when we go to add more in-betweens, we can kind of offset these movements. So we can have pieces of this move first while others are stationary, and that really gives, it loosens up the animation a lot. Okay, so his legs, they don't really need to be moving. I'll in a similar spot like this. And one thing I've been trying to practice as well is getting that like snappy anime kind of timing. If you watch the Line animation, like their studio, all the work they do, I just love how their motions are so snappy, and the movements are really, really nice to watch. So here, I got to move him. I'm going to make him just a little bit bigger. and move him down a little bit, right? Because we got to simulate that camera move. See, it kind of, if I turn off this onion skin, there's kind of an illusion that he's coming forward, and that's because we're animating the horizon line and the character at the same time. So now let's go here. Let's turn this back on. You know who's really good at this? Like these kinds of camera moves is Howard Wimshurst. He's another animator on YouTube. I just actually made a video about some parts of his channel, but he is really, really good at animating these amazing camera angles, and he does it all traditionally. And like the way he animates, his drawings aren't very cleaned up, right? There's lots of like loose lines. They're very expressive, but it looks good. It looks really, really good. His animation also has like a lot of energy in it as well. So if you don't, you probably know who he is. He's a pretty big YouTuber. You guys can check him out. I always struggle with 3D camera moves and 2D animation. Is really, yeah, honestly, same. It's probably one of the hardest things you're ever gonna have to do in 2D. It makes it a little easier in Toon Boom when you actually have like a camera you can move around. That makes it so much easier. Are you gonna use a smear? Yes, probably. When I think about using a smear though, I usually just add it in kind of towards the end. Okay, so now we want this person in the foreground to be coming towards us, but we're still going to ease it out a little bit. So I'm going to make her a little bigger, and we're going to move her a little bit back like this, because we want the camera to push past her and zoom in on our character, on the guy with the sword. Right? See that? So I probably need an in-between from here to here. So let's make another frame. And this time, you know, we favored the red. Now we're going to favor the blue. So we're going to draw closer to the blue to make our camera ease out and ease in to this pose. Okay, so let's draw the horizon line first. And I guess if you're, I'm not really an expert at this, but what really helps me is I draw the horizon line first. I separate it, right, completely. I treat it like its own character, basically. We kind of get that in. And once that's kind of working, we can go and add our character. Oh, and yeah, Joseph, I forgot to tell you, I'll post this in the Discord, but I recently found a super good animation channel in Spanish. This guy, he makes great videos, and it's all in Spanish. So I'll link you the channel, because I know you were talking to me about that. But I think that would be super helpful for you, because this guy, he's really good. He makes rigging videos, animation videos. I'll link it after this. And then same thing, I'm going to animate the guy, the character in place. So, right, his shield's going to be here. Right, his arm might be down like this. It's not quite in place just yet. Yeah? Are they going now? Yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, one sec. Here, let me finish this. I gotta go. I gotta cut this stream short, guys. I gotta drive my brother to the train station. But we'll do this first. So here, it's not in place just yet. His feet will be in place. And then I'm going to grab him and shrink him down like this. So he's a little farther back. I'm still thinking about the arcs as well. Right? And that is looking pretty smooth. So you go here. Like the main bits of our camera move are coming together. And now for here, as he goes up. Yeah, I gotta go. Shit. Okay. So we cut this stream short, guys. I'll leave it up and maybe I'll come back later and continue this. So sorry, guys. Nice to see you. I gotta take off. But at least we covered some camera movements. All right. See you later.